guys, pretty windy day here in the central tablelands country of New South Wales, Australia, so just out here on the Red Chrome. Meanwhile, last week I've been a bit busy. I've been test riding all 5 bikes I've got, and I'm going to put a clip together, a 5 bike test of all bikes together, so it'll be all in one clip coming up, and we'll see how that idea goes. Now meanwhile, you might have noticed now the Red Chrome's back to normal now. Chrome guards are back on it. So I was busy cleaning the, strange as it sounds, I was busy cleaning this bike and then decided I might swing the guards back on. So I've had a bit of fun with the off-road style of it, and you know, things are going pretty well there. Looks okay with the guards back on too, so actually I think it looks pretty good with that and the touring seat and sump guard and a few other things there sitting on it. Now the main reason for this clip, I'm out here taking the bike for a ride today because one of the guys who was reading a comment a couple of clips back, he mentioned he thought he heard a bit of tappet noise in this bike of mine. Well, I hadn't touched the tappets now for 4,000 kilometres, so I did them at 500 and never touched them after that one. And I decided I told him I was going to wait till I get to 5,000 k's, so that would have been another 500. But when I was down here cleaning the bike up, and I reckon I did a pretty good job cleaning it too, to be honest, because taking into account this bike's done a real lot of dirt running, and therefore it was pretty hard to clean. So it wasn't a matter of just a 5-minute job. It took quite a while to get it to this stage like this. So back to the story on the other side. Yeah, so I decided after I'd cleaned it up I might get into it, and you know, I might as well check the tappets because it's only about a 15-minute job, because you know, I've had a bit of practice with it. And sure enough, after I lifted the lid, you could say the exhaust one was fine. It was to spec, so 0.18, but the inlet one, or closest to the fuel injector, that one there was actually loose by a fair bit. I never actually put a feeler gauge in there to check it, but it was a lot looser than the standard one that goes in there, what is 0.08. So you know, it was sort of a little bit out of spec there. So naturally he's got pretty good ears, that bloke, and mine over the 70 mark, and all the years I spent out the paddock shooting with high-powered rifles with no ear protection, sort of probably taken a toll in that line there. So you know, 70 years later you pay the price there, you could say. Now, and when you say high-powered rifles, although I'm only 22 250s, which I fired probably 10,000 shots out of, so that's a really high cracking rifle to not have ear protection. But if you go back to the 70s and that, when you used them, well, you know, not many people worried about all the things then compared to what they do now. So you know, that was a good point. He said it was a little bit out. I checked it, it was out, and apart from that, well, I've got it running. I reckon it's running a little bit better there too now. Maybe I don't think it sounds that much different. It's hard to say, I can't tell, but it is performing a little bit better on the run. It would run along 80, 90, 100 kilometres now, so all good there. But overall I'm fairly happy with how things are going. The see these off-road tyres I put on it, you might think they might knock the handling around a bit and the ride, but in actual fact the ride quality has softened, and the tyres, you know, I don't notice that much a difference between those and the stock ones, except that they got a little bit of road noise in them. But yeah, but overall, like, having this bike back to its original form now with the red guards front and rear, and cleaned up and polished, and you know, I did not a bad job, I reckon, because you have to take into account I do not like cleaning bikes, period. I couldn't care less if sometimes if I bought them, I never cleaned them from the time I bought them till the time I cashed them. That just because I didn't do that to bikes doesn't mean I didn't do that. I did that to cars. Cars were totally different. I cleaned them all the time. So but you know, I had a 40-odd year love affair with cars compared to bikes. Well, I only just come back into those 12 years back. So you know, all going well. But on the 5 bike comparison, like, I'm going to put a video together, and I'm working on the clip now. That will be the Honda Grom, the NMAX scooter, the Honda GB350, the V-Strong 250SX, and this one here, and I'll give you my thoughts on all those as I go through them. And they're all fairly new bikes, like they go from 22 models up to 24 models, so they're not old veteran bikes I'm going out to go for a ride on. They're all stuff I've got. So that'll be something for you to look at, probably, I don't know, however long it takes me to put it together. I've already been out, rode them, see what I think about them. Bit of a surprise in a couple of them, so you know, that's the way it goes. But the main thing is, there's not much I can tell you now about this. Look here, I even cleaned the rims. These are the cleanest these rims have been since I bought the bike. So it's now if you ask what do I use, okay, I just use degreaser, and what I always use, whether it's a car or a bike or anything, I just use ordinary warm water with dishwashing detergent and wash them like that. So I got the engine degreaser over at Supercheap, and the dishwashing detergent, I got that out of the container next to the sink. So that's what I use to clean it up. And you might say, oh, I wouldn't use that on your bike. Well, you know, to be honest, I don't care what you use on your bike, but tell you what, I've used that same system on some really, really good cars compared to a bike, and I've never had an issue with it. And bugger if I'll start now buying good stuff for a bike. But, you know, everyone each to their own. That's the way it goes. But overall, the old red chrome does look all right now it's cleaned up, but virtually unmarked too, surprisingly, because I've given this a fair caning in the dirt. I wouldn't say this has had an easy life, but main thing is, it kicks over, it goes, and dare I say a better bike than the Classic 500. But you know, people don't want to hear that one, but you know, you got to call it as you see it. And I reckon the Classic 350 is a better bike, but you know, it mightn't have the power, but it's got the reliability and all the other stuff that goes with it. And I can take it here and look here down this bloody road I was at, this track. Now you have to be careful when you go along here too, because we're in prime snake season now. They've been warning people to watch out where they're going, and there's been a lot reported out there, and especially around the walking tracks around where I live, and you never know when you're going to bump into something, a good sized wriggle stick. So anyway, we'll call this quits on this one. Hope you found this a little bit interesting. I'm out there, so the valves or the tappets have been adjusted now. I'll still do my oil change when I get to 5,000 k's, and I won't have to worry about that now. But if anyone's interested how to do the tappet adjustments, I've got videos in the history there on all the bikes, you know, whether it was this one or the blue or the green, you know, a few of them there. So it's a fairly simple thing to do if you follow the instructions, so that may help you out or it may not. So once again, cheers for now.